everyone, my name is Bella Robinson. I'm the Executive Director of the Rhode Island chapter of COYOTE. COYOTE stands for Call Off Your Old Tired Ethics. And we're here today to celebrate International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers. First of all, I'd like to thank PRISM for welcoming us to their space. They've recently been victims of a hate crime, so we really appreciate being inside today, as cold as it is outside. Second, I wanted to thank the Center for Study of Slavery and Justice at Brown University and SWOP USA for the grants they provided for us to do the event. And I'd also like to thank my fabulous friend Alina Shannon for all her support she has given COYOTE over the years. And a special thank you to Steve from Rhode Island Future for coming out to cover our event. And thank you all of our volunteers and community members for coming out in the snow today. So what we're going to do is I want to talk real quick about a couple things. And one of them is I wanted to talk about a victim that I've been working with over the last 3 or 4 years. It was about 3 years ago. She was attacked by someone posing as a client. She had extreme injuries. She's got permanent neck and back injuries and permanent kidney damage. But in this scenario, the media report I saw didn't even mention the fact that she was an online escort. It just sounded like some woman on a sidewalk got attacked. And the man that attacked her was a sex offender for rape, so he was supposed to be being monitored by the state. He raped one escort, robbed another escort, and raped her. And by the time he attacked the third victim, they found a dead body in his garage. So he's raped 3 sex workers and murdered one, and he only has to do 9 years in prison. We're outraged. On top of that, Victims' Compensation sent this woman a $15 check. She's supposed to fix her life with $15. She says she's reached out to rape crisis centers, everyone that will talk to her, and we've been the only ones that have even offered to give her any emotional support. She checks in with me every couple of months. She seems more stable than she was a couple years ago, and I'm just honored to have her trust. When they had a secret grand jury during this process, and I think she said there were 17 people in the grand jury, and she said the Attorney General was looking at her saying things like, well, you know, what you were doing is illegal, and she got in his face and said, I don't care why I was there or what I was doing, I'm the victim here. So when I read the newspaper article where she was mentioned, the Attorney General blamed this on Backpage.com, which is the site that most online escorts use to advertise. And the state took no responsibility that they had failed to monitor the sex offender, knowing that he was dangerous and in our community. Because I have no doubt, had he raped a real estate lady showing him an apartment, she would have a lot more sympathy for a victim. So 3 years later, this victim has still been unable to access any services. She does want to exit, and I'm going to kind of take over being her case manager. The next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is I wanted to pay tribute to Ashley Macy, who was murdered in her Providence apartment in 2014. She was a mother of 3. She had, I think, an older child and a set of twins, newborn twins. Right after the murder, they took the 2 children away from her mother, and I wondered why, and I heard through the grapevine that her mother had a previous prostitution conviction, and I'm pretty sure that that's why they took them away. I don't think there was like proof that she was a bad parent or a danger to the children. So not only did these children lose their mother, they're not allowed to live with their grandmother, who's the only other person they knew, because of the stigma of sex work. So I wanted to talk a minute about Gilgo Beach. I actually became an activist because of the Gilgo Beach murders in 2010, when over a dozen women up in Long Island were found dead, murdered on the beach. It was last year in December that the chief of police was arrested. He's been since sentenced to 46 months in prison because he stalled the FBI investigation. It was a weird reason why. He caught a man breaking into his car, stealing a bag of sex toys, and he beat this man up, and he was scared. Well, it's just come out this week that a local escort's come forward that he has paid her for sex at drug parties before, and this always happening in the community. He's also has been friends for 20 years with one of the main suspects of the murders. So how it took the media 6 years to figure out that simple connection is just really, really horrible. So, those are the things, but I did want to mention a couple things. I'm also a board member of SWOP, which is the Erotic Service Provider Legal Education and Research Project. We have launched a constitutional challenge against California prostitution laws, and we're now in the 9th District Court of Appeals. And I want people to think about what the gay community had to do in order to gain their rights. They had to get decriminalized, they had to get hate crime legislation and discrimination legislation, and even then it took a few more decades to change social perception. Another thing I want to mention is I've recently partnered with SWOP Behind Bars, awesome group. SWOP Behind Bars is sending a monthly newsletter to over 1,000 sex workers who are incarcerated. We have a Christmas program, we've seen hygiene packages, we set them up with pen pals, we're filling up the prison libraries with books, and we've launched 3 paralegal scholarship by correspondence courses for women. And we help them with re-entry services. We're going to be working on ideas to make sure that they're provided like a cell phone for 90 days when they're released, so they can have a way to stay in contact with us and we can help them build community.